taking us down memory lane. Now, is it respect, peace of mind, emotional support without judgment, or something even deeper? Today, we are creating a safe space where we can listen, learn, and unlearn some assumptions we've always had. Because whether we like it or not, understanding each other is the first step to building a strong, healthy relationship. And that is why we're digging deep to find out what the men really want. To start our conversation at this today is Emeka, and he's talking about respect.
Right from the creation, any man that cannot be seen, any man that has no impact is of no value to the society and in fact of no value to God. And God cannot make a mistake. So if he created a man, if he allowed any man to be alive, it means that he wants that person to be visible. He wants him to be heard. He wants him to be known. He wants him to be respected. It is important to respect. If you love, you respect. If you respect, you will love. Particularly in the black man's culture, males are respected. The males expect that they should be respected much more. But it doesn't mean that they shouldn't give respect to the females. They deserve it because they do a lot of things, that should command respect. When a woman respects her husband, she gets a double of that respect. It provokes the man to do more than he would naturally have done. It is expected most of the times that females, particularly those who are married, the first thing they do whenever they wake up from bed, they kneel down and greet their husband. That's a show of respect. You see, because of the dynamics of civilization, understanding, information, and networks, some of these things are dwindling. But that is not to say that people should not be respected. Pride is when you think that you have it all and every other person must bow to you and worship you. That is a very, very wrong conception of life. The only way that you can do to be respected, to command respect and to earn it, first of all, you give it. Some of my colleagues, in the place of work, that were younger colleagues to me, and because I gave them the respect which I felt they deserved, they doubled, tripled the amount of respect they gave me. So it's highly reciprocal. And I commend it to everybody, that anybody, if you want to live a good life, if you want to enjoy this life, the first thing you must learn to do is to respect other people.
Emeka, that was great, short, swift, sweet, and also it has opened up our conversation very nicely. What do men really want? We'll be going to Port Harcourt, where we already know, we've established with our show today that culturally and generally, men are providers. But it does seem as though they desire loyalty, friendship, respect. Of course, if you didn't already know, now you know. So what is all the gist about purpose? NTA Port Harcourt, please take it from here.
For many men in the city of Port Harcourt, the first question they hear is, what do you do? Not who you are. This life at home by chance, don't go to rush yourself. If you don't pay money to parents, stay with your parents. Work becomes identity. A paycheck becomes proof that he is useful, that he can provide and matter. But what happens when the job is gone? When the title disappears? Men know the quiet fears of being directionless, the dread of feeling useless to family and society. Because for a man to lose purpose is to risk losing himself. Men don't just want to exist, they want to matter. Meet Onyinye Amadi, popularly known in Port Harcourt as Hope Day. Born with a physical challenge that doctors said will limit him.
How are you? Thank you. Thank you for calling.
Onyinye refused to be defined by what he could do. Today, he runs one of the most sought-after photography studios in Ozoba, Port Harcourt, Rivers State. His hands may move differently, but his eyes for sight is unmatched. Happily married with a child, Hope Day's studio walls are lined with images that speaks volume. His purpose isn't just pictures. It's proof that usefulness isn't about perfect limbs. It is about unbreakable will. He isn't just a photographer. He is a man who matters.
You can make a change wherever you are. You will never use their condition as an excuse. Because if you die today, I did not achieve anything, you have buried your dream. So as a man, you must do something that will help your family, not depending on government to work for you.
From the craftsman whose hands make him breadwinner at home, to Onyinye Hope Day, whose camera gave him a new name, a new standing. A man's work shapes how family sees him, how society weighs him, and how he sees himself.
For you to succeed in life, never you give up, never you accept fear, because fear can never do you good. Never you bury your dream. Once again, if I can, you can do it.
Purpose is not a luxury. It is identity. It is dignity. So we ask again, do men just want to exist? No. They want to build, to fix, to provide, to be called upon, and they want to matter.
I'll be there. Just don't worry yourself. I'll come. Thank you.
When a man finds his purpose, whether in a studio, a workshop, or a second chance, he doesn't just work, he comes alive.
Amazing. That was very inspiring. Thank you, NTA Port Harcourt. What do men really want? If we should ask some men that question here, good food, peace of mind, or the remote control, because they want to watch their matches in peace. But beneath all that, is there a whole emotional WhatsApp message that was typed, deleted, typed again, deleted, and never sent? Are there things these men are not telling us? Well, today we are finding out too. There is no code. They're going to hide it because the men are here and we're going to be asking the right questions. So join me in welcoming to Weekend Studios, Pastor Emmanuel Isaiah, Pastor Transforming Church, Abuja. Let's see his profile.
to be
Pastor
here.
Emmanuel, that was nice.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That was nice. I really like that profile. That one you wore that black jacket, I say, yeah. Hey. Even Dr. James said he liked it.
So much. I wish I can be like him.
Wait. Okay, he's been here several times, and the minute he came in, he said, your face. Me too, I say your eyes, your glasses. Let's meet, greet, and welcome Dr. James Komolafe, Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of the Institute of Behavioral Alignment of Nigeria. First, his profile will introduce him formally.
Dr. Komolafe, you're welcome to Weekend Deal.
Thank you so very much, Patience. I hope you are still very patient.
So our topic is quite a topic that has been on forever. This debate of what men want and sometimes what women want has always been on for like ever.
Yeah.
But like we have mentioned, for us to have this amazing relationship that will last forever, we must understand each other. And that's what we are attempting to do today on Weekend Deal. So I'll give you that blanket question. Doctor, what do men want?
A huge lot. Except that in our world, the emphasis seems to be more on women. Men are not listening.
Is that not why Weekend Deal is giving you this platform now?
What men want? The first thing is attention. Attention is attraction. A man you attend to.
Please hold on.
The
producer said women take notes, so please pick your pen and paper and start taking notes.
All women should gather here.
All women should listen.
Nowhere to go at this moment except here. Let's deal with it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We need
You're
to
on the
be
floor.
heard. We need to be heard as well. You see, men are loaded and coded on the inside.
Loaded and coded.
At the same time. So we need not just the men, even the feminine gender, to be attentive to us, because attention, like I said, is attraction. And it's a law of attraction that wherever your attention goes, there your energy flows. So very critical. Men wants to be heard. And to hear a man, you have to attend to that man physically, mentally, emotionally, thank God the pastor is here, even spiritually.
Yeah.
And you see, there is more to meeting a man than what he says.
Wow.
Okay.
Every part of him communicate. Now, look at pastor. Is he not dignified? And you said, they said the way you look, the way you dress, is the way you are addressed. Men are not only dressed on the outside. Before you see up, put up this attire, a whole world on the inside has been brought to bear. So we want to be listening to, and then we don't want, when you attempt to listen to men, don't interject, don't interrupt, don't even attempt to intervene, only interface and interact. So that at the end of the day, you say, wow, this is my man, I'm a guy, you're deep, you are rich.
Okay.
Riches is not just about what is in the hand, but what are the contents, the loot that I said, on the inside of a man that is trying to reel out per time. So give him the attention, listen to him, hook, line, and sinker as he reels out his point. So that at the end of the day, you can pick value for your time and make contribution to yourself, your surrounding, your ecosystem, and be a contributor to life. And God
Dr. James. James.
A man of God is here.
Give it up for Dr. James, you know. Even there was plenty of sweet grammar, it was deep. Or it is deep. It's telling us that little matter how strong men look on the outside, they sometimes allow themselves to be vulnerable. And it takes a woman who is, or a person who is attentive to discern that there's a vulnerable gentleman there and he wants to be heard. Not to be interjected with, but to be interacted with.
Kemba is taking a note already.
That's right. Okay, good. A very fine opening. Let me now talk with our dear pastor. Our dear pastor, it's so interesting that you're here because Dr. James has also talked about the fact that women also need to take up the spiritual matter for the male folk in their life. I know he wasn't referring to just the husbands or the spouses, their sons, their brothers as well. Okay, and you are in that domain. But before we delve into that religious aspect, that is about the boot camp. It must take a lot of understanding and discernment to bring forth an idea such as that, and then to attract people to attend, and then to hold forth even while they come. Tell us, what have you found?
Okay, so I found out that men are becoming endangered species right now.
Oh, that's another level of depth too.
Yeah,
wow.
Because...
But you don't look endangered.
We're endangered. We're becoming a endangered species because men are bottling so much. Men are under intense pressure. And you know, it has a historical perspective to the pressure that men go through. Because if we look at the transitions from the agrarian society where manhood is defined by this the stoic, the domineering, the provider, bossy, the leader of the house that give instructions and make all the decisions in the house, and everything is under his control because his work comes from the earth. He works from the earth. He tills the ground, he ensures that he provides. So where his definition is, the man is the provider. So he draws his identity from the authority that he provides in the house and make sure that everything is under his control and influence. And gradually we move from that agrarian society into the industrial society where the concept of breadwinner began to emerge and evolve. Men began to go to factories and work. We are still providing at that time. As we move from that agrarian age, women also who were normally housekeepers and just home economics and all that, begin to go to work. There's gradually a role redefinition. Women are more and any more now. They are providing more now. So a provision of being a provider is what you use to define a man.
That one has gone no. Kind of.
Old cliche.
You get my point? It's an old cliche. So there's a lot of redefinition of manhood that is going, and that puts man under pressure. The advent of social media is also putting man under pressure. Competition is on the increase. Now, media itself have redefined manhood. They must be able to have, be able to be at the provide for class, and a whole lot. The economy itself is putting man under pressure. So with all of that, the man is defining himself. If all that makes me a man is that I can cater for my family, the economy is here and cannot longer provide as I should provide. We're having more women now. We're having more economic, more empowered than men.
Under one roof.
Under one roof.
Under one roof.
If you do a little statistics, you realize that when a man and a woman get into a career at the same time, the likelihood is that the woman might rise faster than the man. In terms of favors, the woman might have more favors in the office than the man, and all that. This all put pressure on the man. Who will he run to? And because of the historic dimension that a man must suck it in, men don't cry. We suck it in a lot. And so instead of exploding, we implode. Vulnerability now is no longer seen from the place of strength. It's seen as weakness. Who do you cry to?
what?
You get the point. So men are under. I'm trying to just establish this point that men are under intense pressure. So if you ask the question, what does men really want? You can understand from what's happening right inside of the man. So I completely agree with Doctor when he said that if you see a man fully decked up and all that, there's so much happening on his inside.
Wow.
So we put up a face to just be sure everything is fine. You know, men don't cry. We put up face, everything is okay. Just to give the family confidence that don't panic, I'm in control, but most men are directionless. Don't even know what next to do. So what does a man want? He talked about attention. I want to add to it, made respect. There are basically 5 emotional needs of the man. Respect. Let me stay on that first. For the man, no man wants a woman that talk at him.
Okay, when you say talk at,
I'm going to explain that.
Yes.
Every man who wants to make progress needs a woman that talk with him. Now, when you talk at a man, you are tampering with the ecosystem that foster his peace, where his true productivity lies. No man can be very productive if there's no peace in the environment. So, respect is one of the you see, the man define or interpret every aspect of his life from the respect he gets, either at workplace or at society or at the family level or from among siblings. From age 2 to 100, as long as he's a male, as a man, he demands respect. And it's also important that what respect means to a man, to this individual, to this man, may not be the same thing with the other person. So within the family structure, you don't generalize what the respect is. You must understand, contextualize what respect is to your man. Because all choices we make in life and all decisions we make in life are made from references. And the references are our upbringing, our background, our exposure, our education, and our encounters in life. They frame the framework from which we make decisions and our life interpretations of things from. So, what respect is to me may not necessarily be respect to Doctor. So if I'm within a community, it's the onus on me to actually sell what respect is to me, and those around me must learn to study what respect means to me. Because the framework upon which I am developing and designing my life as a man is entirely different from the framework from another. But fundamentally, every man
wants respect.
Once respect is in place. As a matter of fact, respect is the gateway to which a man interprets what love truly means.
Okay. That's the love language.
It's not necessarily the love language, but the way he's going to interpret love to himself, is how you respect.
A consequence of the respect.
A consequence of respect. Because you can express love to a man and he begin to interpret that love from the place of manipulation or control.
Okay.
Without respect.
There's hardly any woman who has not been told by her man that you don't respect me. There's hardly, if you're a sister, you've not been told.
You shut him
Please
down.
hit us. Let me know. If you have not been told you don't respect everything you do. So you might be respecting from a different angle, not the way he wants. But again, we talk about emotional health of men. Stoicism, stoic. Men have decided to be stoic. And I wonder why, because I know a lot of women who say that once a man is vulnerable with them, they get closer to the man. So women even interpret it as being romantic. That the moment a man can break down in your presence, it shows that he has accepted you, and that makes we women, we love you even more. So why do men sit toward the line of being stoic? Why are we holding in our emotions? Why do you think there's a need for you to frown when there's tears behind those eyes?
Well,
let those tears out, we want them. But tell me why.
Every man has ego.
Oh, okay.
So the ego game, the ego trip, you need to be able to watch with all carefulness. They say, look before you leap. You won't want to just throw yourself out to a woman who will take you for granted, who will take your vulnerability as weakness and then pounce on you.
And it does happen.
Because you need to be able to gather yourself. You see, as a man, just like Pastor did say, it has taken you a whole lot to build that persona. When I talk about the persona of a man, and now this is a fact we all must know and hear, as far as why man and men in general will look for respect. He is taking time to build this world within and without, and he has created a framework and an ecosystem that fits him perfectly over time. Whether good, bad, or ugly, is built, is made. He's made himself mentally. He's made himself emotionally. He's made himself physically. And he's made himself spiritually and every other way. And so, coming into that awareness, he develops a presence for himself. And that presence is the carriage of his own essence from his inside. So, before you can get a man to speak up and out, you need to go the extra mileage. Now, look at a popular scripture of Samson and Delilah, although it was on a bad commentary. The woman had to go the extra mileage to pester him. If you say you love me, why will you hide the secret of your strength from me, and all of that. So beside ego, we treasure what we have, and so we measure our relationship, our identities and personalities, and we will not want anybody to take us for granted. And besides, the feminine gender, I'm sorry to say, I'm not biased here, they hardly delete their memory disk. Especially on the other
There's
side.
no delete button.
No delete button.
It doesn't exist in their makeup.
Can you say? And I'm happy.
They bring it out.
You are
They
saying
keep reminding
They
you.
keep reminding you. 4
You did
p.m.
this 25 years ago. That's when you took that.
1972.
For sure.
3 people were there.
For sure.
Thema was there. Why? Patience Elohi was sitting.
But just a minute.
You're wearing a blue,
But just a minute.
blue color shirt.
all of that. So
But you do
hate
agree
to
with that.
hear all of
Our
those
memory
things.
sometimes is a plus and a gift.
It is,
There are
but it
times
should
we
be channeled the right way.
Okay,
and
it's a plus and a gift sometimes.
yeah.
But still on this, this are memory, because we don't want it to be just about women not understanding what their men want. We didn't say, let us tell women today what men want. It's what men want. So leave us allow us to sit down and learn peacefully
very
and peaceably.
Yes,
Okay, but
you will
meanwhile, you talked about imploding. When it implodes on the inside, there usually is a catastrophic effect on the outside.
Yeah.
It comes out. I know we have other features, but this has been like burning, so I don't know if you can speak to it. Let me let Nito Pastor to talk about this, because you are having a boot camp. I wanted to hear how vulnerable the men are being with each other.
Okay.
If they're not being vulnerable with women or with other people, their sisters, their neighbors, are they doing it with men? We ask that because, like you said, Patience has brought in the idea of men being stoic. You said they have ego. That ego sometimes comes with pride. You've talked about they've already built something for themselves. And sometimes any small thing that happens,
can thwart the
yes,
whole
they
game.
can. We see amazing things happen. We have unveiling stories on social media of Joe McCann and Ashley from Zanzibar. We have the other one in America, the former governor of Virginia, who, murder-suicide thing. Meanwhile, on the outside, everybody sees normal, fine. So is it at the boot camps helping as they should?
Absolutely.
What is your focus?
Okay, absolutely. It's been amazing results have been getting, I could share a few stories of some.
Is it just men?
Just men alone. I could share a few stories, but just to establish something in agreement with what Doctor said. You see, when the man received the word no, rejection, why are men not vulnerable? No for the man is not just the word no. No for the man is
the universe.
A universe. Not just a universe. Before a man presents a request, he's risking three things. He's risking the loss of value, loss of identity, and the loss of self-worth that he has built. So if he's going to present a request, he's going to be vulnerable. He's thinking, will I feel valued after this presentation? So if he's rejected, he loses value for himself.
Wow.
He loses his sense of identity. So telling a man no is not just no. It's a whole world. Because before a real man put himself together to come and share his pain, he's going to consider, does this person deserve me taking my worth? Because when you tell me no, it's not just a word no. He's going to figure in a whole lot around him with just that no. And that's why, so once a man gets the rejection, he shuts down.
Really?
Do you understand? Because he has ego. He has sense of dignity. Do you understand?
Was that ego not being overshot?
No, I'm going somewhere. Yes. Ego is great, but a sense of dignity is beyond the level of ego. Ego is fragile.
Yes.
It's to impress people. But a sense of dignity is about defining your real identity.
Wow.
I don't want to be seen by another man as a weak person. And we have a lot of male that are not men.
So what are they?
What I mean by that is that you don't want to be vulnerable to a man and he doesn't have the capacity to hold the information you just gave about yourself.
Good. Oh, yeah, I get it.
And the next thing is you're going to hear the story around.
Okay, they don't want that cho.
Good. Not at all. So that's why I say he's taking a sense of risk of loss of value, loss of self-respect, and identity he has for himself. So it shuts men down from being vulnerable. But now back to the question you asked. See, these were the things that make me create the forum where men come together in the boot camp. We host about 50 to 70 men in a room, locked from 8 p.m. to sometime about 5 p.m. And since it's all men, what we do is that we all come together. I talk about why we need to be vulnerable and ensure that no camera, no social media, nothing. It's just men alone. And I begin with my own experience. First, I become vulnerable to them.
Yeah, so they can.
So from there, we open up. I've had scenario where a man, before coming to the meeting, he has just written his suicide note.
Whoa.
And said, his friend just insisted that he just come sharp. He has written a suicide note. He's a man with 2 children. The mother is living with him. He's going through a whole lot. And he comes to that point where he feels, the word that men would not always say, I'm tired.
Okay.
He dropped his suicide note. It was in that forum where people were talking about what they are really going through. And he just realized, man, I'm not alone. I'm not alone.
Many people are going through.
When he heard what others are going through, he realized that he has options.
Okay.
He had options.
Thank you.
Because it's in that vulnerable environment, you know, that he's not being judged. Men are no longer judging themselves.
Yeah.
You realize that I'm not alone in this.
They're listening to each other.
We can actually listen to each other. We can actually lock horns together. You know.
That's nice. When
Nice.
a plenty testosterone in a room,
Yes.
a whole lot
A lot
can
of
happen.
It's a fire.
You know,
That is
become an
nice.
avenue where men are longing to When are we holding the next edition? I need to bring someone.
Keep that going.
We need to
Keep
meet
that
and all
going
that.
because men don't speak. Women, I can just meet Thelma for the first time. We greet and babe, where they go pick my picking. Before you know, we have connected. Me to school. Before you know, we have talked.
Grandmother's name.
We have cried.
Knowing
we have laughed.
Name.
And then we feel the relief, and then we keep moving on. But men don't do that. Yeah. But one thing we hear men talking about these days so much that they even call their better half or the other half their peace of mind. They want peace. Oh, why do you like that woman? She's my peace of mind. I remember one very popular musician who called his second wife his peace of mind. Okay, what is this thing about peace that men want so much? And what we've seen that for respect, there are so many variants of how you should respect your man. Are there ways we can give our men peace? NTA, Mina, tell us. Me, I want to know.
In a world that celebrates hustle, noise, and endless pursuit, many men are quietly searching for something far less visible.
Everybody desires peace, and the moment there is not that peace, your mind is going to be clouded, you're going to be overthinking, you're going to be depressed. So I think the best thing to do is to walk out of the situation, try to find somewhere that is peace and quiet so that you can think and then re-strategize your life.
Behind the expectations to provide, to lead, to endure is a silent struggle, a longing not for more, but for less pressure, less conflict, less noise.
Every night I would have to think of how tomorrow will be. Every morning I would have to think of how I would try to source for the family, my immediate family, and also struggle to survive in this modern era where a man has to hustle as much as possible to feed his immediate family, which has caused me a whole lot of stress, made me go into depression, different thoughts on what to do and what not to do just to provide for my immediate family and those around me.
For some, home is no longer a refuge, but another battlefield, and a constant conflict is the mind that never rests.
The marriage was engaging in problem because of lack of peace in between two of us. By the time you marry a wife, after feeding her, she becomes so buoyant, fat, giant. You don't have a colleen of fighting unless husband. It's very unfortunate. I encountered that, and it led to our separation. By the time we separated, or as we separated from her, the whole danger I've been facing in lack of obedience and the rest of it, there was nothing like that in my house again. So I have my peace, and I live in peace up to now.
Others choose a different path, walking away from high income, from status, from the race. So the question remains, do men truly crave excitement, or have they simply been taught to endure?
Before I was earning more, but I was losing a lot because every day felt like a battle to me. I could remember there was a time I needed to go to work when I just got married. 2 days after my marriage, I went to seek for a 30 days leave, but it was rejected. So I had to go back to work. And that became the most difficult battle of my life. I had to resign from that job because from then onward, I began to have more issues than ever. And that was the most lucrative job I ever got in my life. But I had to let it go because it's tempered with my peace of mind. But now I'm being paid less. But I can say I'm one of the most happiest married men on earth now.
What if beneath the strength, beneath the silence is a deep unspoken desire for calm, stability, and a place to rest? And for many men, peace is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of a better life.
Life is a learning curve. You know, we must get to a point, irrespective of age, where you tell yourself, I should be ready to learn something every day. That way, you have natural shock absorbers, and you take it with pleasure. That, thank you for sharing with me. So we say, gentlemen, thank you for being open and vulnerable to a point with us today on the show, for the world to see and learn, even for other men to learn. Okay. We often say that charity begins from the home. You were speaking before the break, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me talk with Dr. James. Why are you looking at me? Dr. James.
I want to hear you and hear you right.
You will know. You will.
Well, yes.
You will. We are saying, what do men want? Because we see that in some sections in society, we are at an impasse. We are at an impasse. Okay, it's all about what do men want, but I'm being told now to go to Lagos and find out what does Lagos want with us on Weekend Till today. Well, it's all about environmental sanitation. It's ongoing, and we hear there's fresh just Lagos. You want to share? Do share.
All right, thank you, Selma, and welcome to Lagos. Yes, a familiar routine returns today across Lagos, and indeed it is one that truly defines civic responsibility. I tell you, the streets of Lagos are busy with residents, and the law enforcement agents are all around the corner to maintain peace and order. But beyond the enforcement, the question is, are Lagosians truly ready to clean up their mess? It is the environmental sanitation here in Lagos, and we are in Lekki phase 1, and as you can see behind me, people are busy cleaning up the mess. We have the opportunity of speaking with the chairman of the Lekki Residents Association. She's here with us, and she's going to tell us her motivation and how they feel that this exercise is back in Lagos. So you're welcome, ma'am. Just step in.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Lagos. It's been so many years ago that we had environmental sanitation, so it's a welcome development that it's back. You can see that we've been here since for the past 1 hour cleaning, and what is so horrible a few minutes ago, looking so nice, it makes me feel so happy. And if we all imbibe the culture of taking care of the environment, we'll have a better life, better life.
Okay, as an association, you are all residents coming out together to see that this is a huge success. How well do you think you sustain this momentum?
You know, this is a community, and we have unity of purpose. We want a better environment. Yeah, this is a community, and we have, like I said, we have a unity of purpose, and the most important thing in our mind is to take Lekki back to where it used to be. Wow. Yes, clean, sane environment, and the government has been helping us. Today, the centers, with the PSPs are here, trying to do it. The residents are here, cleaning up, and especially where we are now, the canal, to prevent flood. The government has given the contract to a contractor, and he had brought everything out. Unfortunately, he has not come to pack it, so people now use it as a dump site. Yeah. So that is why we're here. Okay. So even though the government is doing what they're supposed to do, doing it right by us, the people they give the job to should be able to do more.
Okay. So I can see you're really doing tremendous work right behind us here. After clearing this place, it's an open space. What's the assurance now? What steps will you take to ensure that it doesn't get back to this stage anymore?
You see, because we've put our sweat and our time into it, it's very, very important for us to we have a sanitation team. Okay. And then we'll make sure that we monitor this place. So it's not going to go back to what it was before. So that is what we're going to do. We've put our sweat into it, so we won't let it just go to waste.
All right. That's good to know. Thank you. And I'd like to talk to one or two residents. I can see Kevin. Please come up. I can see Kevin getting dirty down there with his hand. Please come up, and then let's hear you. You are one of the residents here in Lekki, and I can see you're really, really into this.
Hold on a second. Let me unmask myself.
Please, you need to.
I don't think I'm like Badger.
All right.
What's on before?
We'll pick it up for you.
Aha, my AirPods.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, I guess we can see you well now.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, that's better. So as
morning.
a resident, I see you're excited being part of this exercise. I can say for sure that for a long time, you've never had it this good. Yeah?
Is it good? I'll say I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted that we have to, yes, well, we have to do this. You can see we're working in the common area.
Yes.
It's also because there's been a lot of neglect over the years.
Oh, wow.
Otherwise, it won't come out as residents to be taking care of common areas.
Well, that should bring some form of relief to you that at least you're able to do this. When you pass here every other day, you don't feel happy.
It is exemplary that Lera is doing this. But what we are trying to do is encourage others to emulate what we are doing and also support, especially those people that are directly affected, those on the common areas here. You have Lekki British School here, you have an establishment behind us, and so on and so forth.
Okay. So what are the steps that you have put together to ensure that they emulate this?
Okay, so I serve as Vice Chairman there. I also serve as Chairman of the Environmental Committee. So we're running the sensitization campaign across this corridor, on all corridors, but since we're here, I'm starting with this one.
Right.
We're going to sensitize all the businesses, write them letters, you know, because some of them, interestingly, we did a walk day before yesterday. Some of them not even know they're at environmental sanitation today.
Oh, wow.
So it shows that the level of awareness is quite low.
It's just coming back after the long
Correct,
time.
yes.
Yeah.
And I also want to put it down to this being, let's call it the inaugural edition, right? Although it's, I mean,
It can only get better.
yes, so subsequently, between now and the next one, there should be more, what do you call it, sensitization.
Well, the average Nigerian would say it is a welcome development, not just on the island or Lekki, all across different areas.
Oh, yeah.
States.
So
So,
it's very welcome. We're happy about the introduction of the program itself.
Interesting. So if you have to pass one word across to viewers and even the government, what would you say as regards to that?
Well, two things. To viewers, I mean, minding your surroundings is a civic responsibility. Under Lagos state law, it's actually a crime to keep your surroundings. Under the EMPL, that's the Environmental Management Protection Law, it's actually a crime to keep your surroundings dirty. That's for the residents. On the government end, there's a lot of regulatory gap between making that, in fact, enforcing that law, right? LOMA has a lot to do. Ministry of Environment has a lot to do. But that's the only way the thing will work. The sensitization should be done by the agencies directly involved, and the enforcement should follow.
Thank you so very much.
Thank
We
you
wish
so
you the
much.
best, and we know that you have a success story to give after
Thank you.
this.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right, yeah, we've heard from them, the residents of Lekki Phase 1 here. Just a replica of what will be going on around Lagos today. Like he said, sensitization is a bit low, but after a long while, it is so much expected. It can only get better. And we say, like you see what going behind me, it is only a great step towards achieving the cleaner Lagos that we all crave, especially as the government preaches every other day. That's it, Thelma. Patience, it's back to you in the studios.
Thank you so much. Cleanliness, they say, is next to godliness. And of course, we want our eco very clean. And not just eco, everywhere. We want to breathe clean, fresh air. Thank you so much, Lagos State Government. Here we are trying to decode the mystery behind what men want. Is there something behind I am fine? Because each time you ask, how are you? It is I am fine. Are there things that did not make it beyond the lips? That's what we are finding out today. But we'll first go to Kanu. What about love and connection? How are men doing in that area? Kanu, tell us.
If you ask a room full of men, who here finds it easy to ask for a hug? Definitely most hands stay down, not because they don't feel it, but they were taught not to show it. We hear man up, don't cry, so they learn emotions equals to weakness.
There are certain level that you hide your feelings depending on the situation. There may be, if you belong to a certain group of tribe, like the Fulani, of course you know the Fulani doesn't express their feelings. Oftentimes marriage has been just join without even the consent of the two parties.
Of two instances, there are some men that they find it quite easy to ask for love, and there are some that prefer it to be expressive. For me, I prefer expressive love, a love that comes with actions which speaks louder than words. If a lady is able to express how she feels towards me, her actions alone shows me that, okay, a lady loves me. Personally, I would not demand for love from a lady, because demanding from love does not mean you get it.
If I see you and I like you, I can walk up to you, hey, how are you? The worst thing I can say is you have a boyfriend or you are not interested or anything, then you go ahead, I'll go ahead.
Reasons like fear of judgment and social conditioning makes man withdraw, isolate or shut down. Most men would say I am fine, while stress eats up their health and relationships. Asking for love feels hard because love means letting someone see parts we have been told to hide.
Men tend to hide under the pretense of I am strong, so they do not express. Well, if you stay fine, and then and of course men tend to solve problems by taking out, while females tend to solve problems by talking about it. So it's more like they are expressive.
They are suffering from that reservation. In this situation, you must show, you must portray, you must pursue. All these are characteristics of expressiveness. Issue of expression has to do with the role or position of a person in society generally. But whatever the case may be, man is a gregarious animal. He lives in people. He cannot live in an island. Therefore, when you are together with people, you cannot achieve what you wanted to achieve you alone. Definitely, you must show that you like, or you dislike, or you require, or you don't.
The question here is, does emotional support help a man achieve his needs?
When somebody, whether adult or a child, has a problem of depression, he cannot exist or coexist peacefully with the people around him. Now, since we are not specifically referring to a man, exactly, man, when he is depressed or he is disturbed emotionally, definitely he needs emotional support. Here he doesn't need evaluation, he needs emotional support. You see, when we say support, entirely issue of medication has not come in. He needs care, he needs support, he needs validation, he needs some people around him.
The truth is, needing connection does not make you less masculine. Rather, it makes you human, and strength is not silence, because none of us here is built to do it alone.
NTA, Mina, that was deep, talking about love and connection. Sometimes, you know, it takes like the man or the leader of the house to teach, either with body language or over time, those who surround him, who he's becoming. Life, like we said, is a learning curve. So at different stages in our lives, we will be different people. That's what it's looking like. That's what it's turning out to be. So share with us as often as you can who you are becoming. That way everybody can key in, and I think we'll give you the love and connection that you need as you need it. Lagos beckons again. We did highlight the return of environmental sanitation being done in such a large way. You know, NTA is there. That's our sister Julie in Lagos. They're at Lekki Phase 1, she says. And she said there's more. Government officials are on ground, and she would like us to hear from them verbatim per se. So Julie, you want to take it from here?
All right, Elma. You can see, please pardon us, the ambience here is so high because they have to do their work. While we were talking earlier on, our government representatives just walked in, so we just have to hear from him. He's Idris Aregbe, the special advisor to the governor on tourism, arts and culture. Good to have you here today.
Thank you very much.
We can see it's really serious business.
Absolutely. It's serious business for everybody in Lagos. Thank you.
So, what's the significance of this event today as regards the coming back of the environmental sanitation in Lagos?
It means a lot to us as as government. It means a lot to to people of Lagos. This is something that cleanliness is something that is we cannot take for granted at all. It speaks to a healthy environment. It speaks to the way people see us, and it also speaks to the way we also see ourselves. And going around today, I've actually seen that Lagos is really not dirty. It's some of our people that are actually dirty, and this is something that we need to take back from this, and we need to make sure that this business is not just for the government. It's something that everybody needs to come together and let's see how we can. Because come to look at it, Lagos is not, the governments are not the only ones living in our community. So it means that we have people who are actually trying to deface the market, our city, and we will not allow that to happen. Right. And for me, as a tourism person, I'm also looking at it from the angle that when Loma shines, tourism thrives. When Lagos is clean, tourism is also represent well and all that. And when you also look at what is happening, Lekki is also a major tourist attraction for us, and that's one more reason why I'm part of this. So
we appreciate this gesture today, and we all crave for a cleaner mega city.
Absolutely.
Indeed. So what are the measures put in place to make this really, really sustainable in Lagos?
That's the first thing. That's what I'm saying. We must understand, agree that it's not just about the government. We must all come together to make sure that we make this work. And we started this, and we'll continue to make sure that this continues to work. Transformation is not the destination. It's a journey, and this is a journey that we started today, and I'm happy that we've also seen that the Lekki Association are also part of this, and I also want to use the opportunity to call on every other association, CDA, CDCs, to come out and let's create a bigger, better picture for our city.
All right, thank you so very much, sir. It's been nice getting to hear your perspective on this issue, and we hope to see you every month, government presence in most of the locations in Lagos.
Every month, every week, every day. This is what we need to do. We shouldn't wait till the last other day of the month, to clean our environment. It's something that we should do almost every day, every hour.
Thank you so very much. Yeah, you heard him there. That's the special advisor to the governor on tourism, arts and culture. That's Idris Aregbe. Thank you once again for being part of Weekend Deal this morning. All right, Thelma, Patience is back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much, Mr. Matthew. Okay, so what men really want? Carlo told us about love and connection. You see a man, let me just, a little question. A man who told his wife, I love you in Buba and Iro. And because of this woman, every material you give her, she sews it. And when she sews it, her husband is hailing her. Oh, my wife of my youth, you look amazing. And along the line somewhere, she discovered her husband was cheating. And she discovered that the woman, when she saw the woman, she said she nearly fainted because she dresses, her heels are longer than Thelma's heels, and she wears all manner of things. And this is a man that told her all her life that he doesn't like women who don't wear Iro and Buba. So what do men really want? Are they giving us a face at home and another face outside? What is going on with the men?
I think, okay.
I was also going to say that when they say men are polygamous in nature, is it real, or is it something they want us to believe they are?
I want to believe that it's not true that men are polygamous in nature. That statement is relative to the behavior of an individual, of certain individual. It does not represent the entirety of the man's nature.
But our forefathers all had more than one wife. Where did that come from?
Okay.
Let's go back to history, because you'll be taking us back history.
Yes, I'll take you back history.
Yeah.
When it comes to polygamy within the African context, there are cultural beliefs around that. for the purpose of procreation and all that. However, polygamy is a function of individual choice. Now, when someone comes from a dysfunctional background, it is the exposure that he has that will influence what he's going to repeat in life. Someone from a polygamous family background, that's how his mind has been cultured to see women. The tendency for him to replicate what he's seeing is high. Someone who comes from a single mother-father kind of background, that is what he's been cultured to see.
So orientation
the tendency
matters.
to replicate that is also highly possible. So usually it's about orientation. Like I said at the beginning, I see choices that we make in life, and all decisions that we make in life, they are made from references. Now, the references form the framework to which we see life. The references are your experiences, your background, your education, and your exposure. So unless there's a change of orientation and a change of disposition and superior knowledge, there is an installation already in you to want to replicate and make decisions based on those references. So it's not true that all men necessarily are polygamous.
Not all men are.
Not all men are. However, there are some who...
Quite a number.
Quite a number. Okay.
Quite a number.
Now, so let me also establish this. You see, the mind has a way of culturing itself to move in particular direction. There's something natural to man. It's called variety. Variety is something that men hate monotony. They don't want it over and over. They get bored. It's natural with men. Now, but when the mind is being cultured in a certain way to respond to life, respond to women, respond to things in a certain way, and pursue variety, and there is no self-government, no self-discipline, you understand what I'm saying? No, you've not got the point of self-determination to define out of life what I truly want. The tendency is you are looking for something somewhere in your mind you are
They sometimes say, I want to talk about on Monday, it's on Tuesday, or how on Wednesday, for on Thursday. Men hate
monotony.
And palm oil soup on Friday.
Is a thing of the mind.
Of the mind, yes.
Okay,
if
we're
it
going
is
to...
not there in the mind, you can't
We're
see
going
it
to
on
say
the
hello to one of our friends who just got his doctorate. But quickly, one sentence or two sentences, Dr. James. We now understand that everybody can be vulnerable to the excitement of variety. So it beckons at everybody at some point in their life, right?
Yeah.
Even both gender, but the men are the thrust at this time. So the onus is on the person who is beckoned at to make a wise decision.
Yeah.
So like you, Dr. James, for example, you are married and have been married for a bit and have children to show for that union. So when you see other attractive ladies, you feel like all men, oh, she's attractive, she's beautiful. Okay. So what stops you from making the move to say, this is a goosey I had that Monday. This oha soup goes sweet. What stops you from going to serve a wonderful, delicious plate of oha soup?
Value.
Tell us.
Value is critical. Like the pastor just told you, you see, variety is a thing of the mind. In psychology, nature, nurture, and culture happens to every human being. Yeah. So if you grow up in an atmosphere where by nature these are what you do, and after a long while it has become a culture, you say cultural practices, oh, our men are giving to this and giving to that, and over time it becomes your second life. You're used to it. As men, we appreciate variety first from the inside, then outside. It is the value on the inside that determines the decision on the outside. And why you will not just swerve just by the sight of your eyes is because you have a mindset already built over time. Rome was never built in a day. So that mindset keeps your focus. So we are, I see a nice lady. In fact, it doesn't even matter whether my wife is there or not. She already knows what I stand for. When I see anything good, I say, wow, this lady, I like the dressing. Oh, you are great, you are good. And it doesn't, it stops there. It doesn't enter into me. No, because I am a world already on my inside. Heavily built. So
you don't have to serve you don't have to serve a plate.
No, you don't need to
serve a plate.
Before get me the other way.
This question is a yes or no, then we'll come back.
Yeah.
Can a man love, two of you would answer, can a man love two women at the same time? Yes or no?
No.
Can a man love two women at the same time?
No.
Yeah, tell me, take us away, we'll talk about it.
Okay, I know that's a definite big no for Dr. Deji Ige. We want to celebrate one of our own. He's a big friend of Weekend Deal and the NTA in general. He's a scholar, a poet, a fashion designer, an entrepreneur, and definitely a patriot. We like to call him Dr. D. He's also known as Elenion. And his signature is Aditu Eledumare. Well, it's all about a doctorate, and a big one at that, where Dauda Dale was there, as were other members of the NTA family. Dr. Deji Ige, please, you have the stage.
At the University of Abuja, during its 29th and 30th convocation ceremony, one man's decade-long pursuit of knowledge reached its pinnacle. We celebrate Dr. Deji Ige, awarded the Doctor of Philosophy in Media Arts.
There were times I wanted to quit because the workload was so much. My first supervisor was not forthcoming. At some point, the HOD put a noose around my neck. So a whole lot happened, and I almost left it. But for the spirit of continuity within me, for resilience, for grit, for my father who kept encouraging me, he insisted. He said something and I would never forget. He said, Deji, I don't know you to start something you don't finish. This would not be an exception. That was about 4 years into the PhD, and I was nowhere. So I went back to school. I decided to complete it. So far, so good.
I pleaded with this wise woman for wisdom to please a mother.
Dr. Deji Ige is more than a scholar. He is a poet, a fashion designer, an entrepreneur, and a patriot. His journey reflects resilience, creativity, and unwavering commitment to excellence.
Anytime that our people continue to develop themselves and grow in their personal capacity, it's always a blessing because it adds value to everything that we do.
The road to a PhD is never easy. For Dr. Ige, it was a 10-year odyssey filled with challenges, sacrifices, and triumphs.
It is not a PhD if you don't get that to Orita, where we call Orita, where you're about to quit. It happened to me too. But thank God for him to have achieved that position, and I'm so happy. I call him Happy by the Mawo way. He's a very lovely guy. You know what you
Behind every great achievement is a support system. For Dr. Ige, family stood as a pillar of encouragement. The biggest pillar of support, he said, was his late father, who unfortunately did not live to see him in the PhD regalia.
For him to be able to attain this academic height is a big deal for all of us. We saw him really work hard. He's very resilient. Deji has a lot of grit, and you know, he has been a consistent point of inspiration to everyone in the family, both young and old alike. And we are so excited that he saw this through to the very end, and today is a Doctor of Philosophy.
Friends witnessed his resilience firsthand. They saw the sleepless nights, the struggle to overcome every obstacle, the determination, and the refusal to quit.
Part of what we are doing here today is celebrating resilience, celebrating integrity, celebrating credibility, because these are all relevant words that will go to describe and qualify Deji Ige. I want to say that it's a privilege for us to have him in our midst, and I'm also happy that he has dedicated his time and resources, to scholarship.
Seek knowledge in every way, my son, and you will have power over big and small things in life.
Today, we honor not just his academic excellence, but his spirit of creativity, entrepreneurship, and patriotism.
The fact that I'm able to achieve it makes me so happy. The fact that I see people rejoicing with me, felicitating with me, my friends, my associates, my colleagues, and well-wishers. I'm glad this happened. And I don't really celebrate so much. I'm not much of birthday celebrant. So this is about the first celebration I've done in a very long time. So I'm quite excited that I finally achieved this.
Congratulations, Dr. Deji Ige. Your NTA Weekend Deal family is super proud of you.
That was short. This program is just organic. I keep saying it all the time. I was watching that. I just saw myself dancing with Deji. Oh, okay. A lot of messages are coming in, and kudos to our guests in the house regards to the vital point raised, respect for men. What can a man do to a lady whom he's planning to settle with? He has been correcting her on certain acts. She always seems to be sorry when corrected, but she goes on repeating the same act, and this has been going on for quite some time. The question is, should this guy continue with this relationship? I am Goyoma from Jos. So, Pastor, answer that. Okay. Doctor, answer that, please.
That's what I do for living.
Okay.
It's a therapy case. We need to be able to find out why is the lady repeating a pattern of behavior. Is there an addiction or what? Or just a mere habit?
Okay.
So through therapy, we are able to find out the root cause analysis.
Well, what if she's just
then
stubborn?
engage? It's still a therapy case. And then you look at whether you look at the compatibility issue after solving the root cause problem.
The questions, men are vulnerable today because the questions are many. Somebody say, can one divorce a nagging and disrespectful woman who doesn't value her husband? From Jacob in Jukwe, Abuja. Can man divorce? I don't do it again. The disrespect is too much. Can a man do that?
Yeah, I think at that point I would recommend for a therapy or a counseling. Actually, you see, when you see disrespect, first you must distill, maybe it's a behavioral issue, but you must understand that if it's a behavior, how is behavior formed? Behavior first starts with information. The quality of information an individual have will determine the belief the individual will have about the matter. Now, your belief influences the value the individual holds. Now, value will now influence the action the individual will carry out. Then the action will now determine the behavior that we see. So if a woman is actually disrespecting the man, fundamentally, disrespect starts from the heart. There's a belief she holds about the man. There's an information he must have received, a betrayal or something from the past that influence how she believes the man, believe about the man, that influence the value she holds about the man, that determine the action she's carrying out, and that's what we call the behavior that she's exhibiting. So what I would recommend is go for therapy first. It's not divorce is not the option first. Go for counseling, go for therapy. Take the both of you, go sit down. Let's go to the root cause. There's something fundamentally wrong,
and once that is not addressed,
probably because we're saying the woman is disrespecting. Probably the trigger itself is from the man. And the man,
90%.
the woman will be responding to a trigger that reinforces the belief she has about the man, that determine how she valued the man. Of course, it's from then you see the behavior coming out.
The answer is within. Submission is easy for a woman whose husband or partner is doing everything she wants. It's easy to submit to such women. You can write in.
But I know that oftentimes when there's like we talk about, no, but hold on. We talk about the very interesting financial times. So oftentimes the tension is even seeping from the homes into the streets. Almost everybody is tense. But that aside, we will continue to manage as best we can. Earlier, I mentioned about the implosiveness and the outward explosion. We refer to dressing, but this explosion is now bringing about loss of lives. The amount of spousal deaths now are at an all-time high. Since we now have, even within the house, the partner, or sometimes they're on their way out, they're about to split, so like they're even together. Like the man, the Louisiana father that went and killed his 7 children and 1 nephew. Who now looks for the sign? What are the signs? Are there signs so that somebody can beckon for help and ask somebody to get some
therapy? As a psychotherapist, that's what I do all the time. I've handled cases.
So you've saved lives.
Local, national, and international, even including a pastor who called me and said, "Doctor, I'm going to commit suicide now. Nobody should look for me." Why? Because she had bottled up so many things over time.
Signs. What are the signs?
What are the signs? One,
signs.
Look at the emotional realities present. How did you begin the journey? What has gone awry? What are the things, the red alert you're seeing in conversation, communication, withdrawals? See, now beginning to withdraw. And then what is the tone of the conversation? Is the conversation becoming confrontation? Is it beginning to react instead of responding? Are we keeping ourselves, each other at arm's length? Are we beginning to look for faults and who wins rather than what works for us?
But are these mental health issues?
Mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. They all go together. So if there are gaps, loopholes, and vacuums, and you tend to just wish it away, deny it, or live in so-called, we just pretend as if it is non-existent.
Ignorance is no longer bliss.
No, it's no longer bliss.
You pay for it. In fact, the price of ignorance is costlier than the value of knowledge.
Wow.
Interesting.
So
that's
when
huge. That's profound.
So when you ignore, you are actually paying higher. So the opportunity cost of ignore is so huge that that's why it's playing out in suicide, murder, and all of that. They will tell you they didn't really mean it. It's the devil. They tell you it's the devil. No, it's
painful. A man will kill his 7 children out of 8.
See, Tema, once you begin to abuse your natural lifestyle protocol and you edge out of the way, you are already violent on the inside, even if you have done no violence outside.
Thank you for this knowledge, Dr. James.
You need to come for this school and learn more.
Thank you so much.
And so you can help so many to walk back to their normal curve, so that they can do it well. Otherwise, we will see all kinds of murder and suicide and all of that. Many
thank you so much for sharing.
It's a serious topic.
Thank you so much.
That a lot of people are sleeping with the enemy, and they don't even know when he or she became an enemy. Well, that's what the papers are saying, and they were going to be taking. Right now we're all presenters on this show.
Okay,
so we're going to be taking one headline. My director and producer said we cannot take more than one headline because the time is running out. So I will start with leadership weekend. The big one here says, World Malaria Day. Nigerians battle soaring cost of malaria drugs. Poor Nigerians turn to herbs as malaria drugs prices soar. That is on page 4. That's what I'll be taking here. There's so many stories on the Leadership Weekend. Please get a copy of Leadership Weekend. What do you have, Pastor?
Okay, so I have the Blueprint Weekend, and the major headline says Lassa fever, experts offer advice as death toll hits 170.
Wow.
38 health workers so far infected this year, NCDC. Pregnant women, children at high risk. Mako, we've scaled up response through multi-partner approach. You can see this on page 8 and page 9.
Thank you so much. You did so well. You should come and do this job, right?
Well, with me here, today's Vanguard newspaper, I have Nwobodo, Dantata, Tunji, Ojo, Kefas, Kuka. Others shine at Vanguard Awards.
Thank God for that.
Thank you so much, Dr. James. I was going to say I'm pleading the fifth. I didn't see Victor Osimhen in this sports paper. But I was just looking, I said, look well. Look well. Intercontinental derby. Osimhen motivates Galatasaray teammates. So I'm not pleading the fifth anymore. You want more sports gist? Go get a copy of the paper or all the dailies we read. I'm told that a break beckons. Are we taking a break?
Sports first.
Okay, Sports Summit. Godwin, what you got? Share, please, with Sports Summit. Okay, Patience, any messages?
I was going to go there. Somebody just wrote to us. He said, I am Chijoke Nwafo, commenting from Abia State. Respect is what every man wants in his marriage or relationship. Give it to him and he will do anything for you. Respect works like charm.
It's charming.
It's unfortunate some women ignore this key that opened the heart of every man. No wonder it was given to women as a commandment to respect her husband. Respect is a big deal.
So is it to
But there's
respect
something
other
that came with the
people's
respecting of the husband. They were told the gentleman to love their wives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can a woman on her own just start to disrespect a man?
Yes.
Or men in general?
Yeah.
You see, when it comes to respecting the man from the woman's perspective, there are a number of factors because we are human, and like Doctor said earlier, we're all product of nature and nurture,
and even culture.
Now, there are usually scenarios of cause and effect in a relationship, in every marriage. If a man loves his wife, not just loving the wife, communicate love in the language that the wife understands and connects with the wife. There, it naturally spurs the wife to love, to respect the husband. Like I said earlier, respect is a thing of the heart. Once disrespect starts, it begins first with an information, an idea, something someone said, an assumption that must have been made. Then you begin to devalue the individual or the husband in his heart. Naturally, it reflects in how he speaks, not necessarily what she says, but how she says what she says. Because respect is usually in the how that the matter is communicated, not necessarily what is communicated.
So you can say, you can speak the truth and speak it very bluntly,
very disrespectfully,
or disrespectfully.
And that
so you may be saying the same thing, but how you present it, your heart. You know why? Because words are the major conveyor of emotions.
You can be brutal.
Perhaps that's why words are not always necessary. Tell us about the impact of the other room in salvaging, cementing, and synergizing unions.
In fact, that is where the game
Because I heard somewhere that a lady told me that anytime she had issue with her husband, after making the delicious dinner and he ignores it, she would just go and wait for him there. And by morning, everybody is smiling.
The assumption is just a simple assumption. You know why? The other room, we use the other room for different purposes. What the woman used the other room for is different from what the man used the other room for.
Oh!
So we need to come to that
so
point
we need to
of harmony
that.
and
You finished matter today.
So what's the man is
Pastor, what's up? You finished matter today.
What the woman used the other room for is for intimacy connection.
Yeah. And to possibly get her demands met.
Not demand, apologize
once you get to the point of
sometimes.
demand, that becomes manipulation. But
No, but sometimes he wants to
but then what
apologize.
the man uses the other room for is to distress.
Yes.
Okay.
And tone down.
So because the dynamics here is this.
Yes.
The other room for the
down
man
and get your
is sprint.
equilibrium back.
Okay.
The other room for the man is sprint. Because he's stimulated by sight.
Okay.
We need to take spots now. We need to take spots. Another type of sprint.
The dynamics of the other room.
It's
Let's
so
go for
huge.
sports.
second, we're at the peak of our show. We're about to call it a day or a morning. Dr. James Komolafe, men get delighted by what? Your book? Share.
Yes, the book is so noble and novel for every man out there and their female counterparts to read and assess themselves. Not just about the talk of the book, but the work of the book. What are men's delight? Health.
Time is against us. We have
very
1
critical.
second.
Strength.
That means
the wealth.
nothing.
And the debt.
Okay, thank you.
Trying to have all the fun. He was alone. Trying to make it alone. No matter how hard he tries, he can take it all alone. No matter how hard he tries, he can take it all alone. No matter how hard he tries, he can take it all alone. How hard it is, how hard it is to be a man. You cannot take it alone. You cannot take it alone. You cannot take it all. No matter how hard you try, you can't take it all alone. No matter how hard you try,